2020 జేఈఈ మెయిన్ ఫలితాలలో ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ విద్యార్థుల ప్రభంజనం. ఆల్ ఇండియా అన్ని కేటగిరీస్లు 18, 35, 251, 253, 582, 606, 778, 780, 812, 821, 1031, 1049, 1303, 1575, 1654, 1753, 1754, 1978 ర్యాంకులే కాక మరెన్నో ఉత్తమ ఫలితాలు సాధించిన విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్. ఈ ఫలితాలు సాధించడానికి కారణమైన లెక్చరర్లు మరియు తల్లిదండ్రులకు మా కృతజ్ఞతలు. ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్.
So next, applications of velocities of transverse wave. Applications of velocity of transverse wave. What are the applications based on this? So in different applications, what are these different applications? See here. So now first, we know what is the velocity of the transverse wave. The simple formula is V is equals to square root of T by mu. No doubt about that. Now, see here. So let us set is the table and it is a string. So the arrangement is like this. Here it is the pulley and a body of mass m is attached like this. So if the transverse wave is generated like this, what is the velocity in this situation? So here it is mg. So this is T and this is T. So T. So tension in the string in this situation is mg. So therefore velocity can be written as square root of mg by mu. Simply V is equals to mg by mu. If you write mu is equals to here in the same formula here, if you write V is equals to square root of mg by mu can be written as mass per unit length. Don't cancel this m and this m. Don't cancel this m and this m. This is purely related to, this mu is purely related to the string and this m is related to the whatever is the attached mass. Whatever is the attached mass. Then if there is no attached mass, if mass of the string is mentioned, if there is no attached mass and mass of the string is mentioned, then only we can write it is V is equals to square root of mg, that m is mass of the string. But here certain amount of mass is attached here. Certain amount of mass is attached. That's why we must write square root of mg. We must write square root of mg. That must. So very very important it is. So there is V is equals to square root of mg by mu. So in the same situation, that is the velocity of the transverse wave in this situation. If the same mass is immersed in water, here if the block of mass m and density rho is immersed in water of density rho L. So now what happens? If the same block of mass m and having density weight mg acting downwards here, mass having density rho is immersed in water of density rho L, then what is the velocity of the transverse wave? Generally here it is tension in the string is nothing but apparent weight divided by mu. In this situation the tension in the string is nothing but apparent weight. What is the tension in the string? or what is the apparent weight here, mg into 1 minus 1 by specific gravity or relative density divided by mu. So, V is equals to square root of mg into 1 minus 1 by specific gravity or relative density, in the sense density of the body divided by density of the liquid. That liquid is nothing but water here, divided by mu. So, from this V can be written as square root of mg into 1 minus density of the water divided by density of the body divided by mu. So, this is one application here. If only mass is attached and the transverse wave is developed here, then V can be written as, simply we can write it as mg by mu. What is m? Mass of the attached block. Whatever is the block attached here, then that is m. Now, if the same block, the same situation, and here the block is immersed in water, the block is immersed in water, then what is the tension here? If this block is immersed in water, the tension in the string is nothing but its apparent weight divided by linear density, apparent weight divided by linear density. What is the apparent weights? mg into 1 minus 1 by specific gravity. Specific gravity in the sense density of the body divided by density of the water. Specific gravity in the sense density of the body divided by density of the water. So, mg into 1 minus density of the water divided by density. So, that is V is equals to square root of 1 minus density of the water by density it is. This is the situation V. This is the velocity of the transverse wave in this situation. Now, come to the next point in this. So, here what is the quantity varies means tension varies in different situations. In different situation, how the tension varies, then we can substitute the tension only. So, V is equals to square root of T by mu. Here for example, if the string is fixed between two rigid supports, if the string is fixed between two rigid supports, and a transverse pulse is generated and the transverse wave generator travels like this. If the transverse wave generated and this transverse wave travels like this, then if the string is fixed between two rigid supports, what is the tension in the string? Or Ya alpha delta T. Due to the increase in the temperature, definitely it must bends. The string must bends. So, the bending in the sense transverse wave like this. So, what is the tension developed in this situation? Ya alpha delta T. Tension developed in that situation is Ya alpha. Thermal force formula, you know about that. Thermal force or thermal stress. In mechanics, thermal properties of matter, thermal stress can be force by area can be written as Y alpha delta T, or thermal force can be written as Ya alpha delta T. So, that means when this situation exists, if the body or if a rod is fixed between two rigid supports and it is heated, then what happens? Certain amount of tension developed in the rod or string, whatever it is, the tension can be written as Ya alpha delta T, Ya alpha delta T. So, that means from this we can write it as T V is equals to Y is Ya alpha delta T by mu. What is Y here? Y is nothing but Young's modulus here. Y is nothing but the Young's modulus. A is alpha is quotient of linear expansion. Alpha is nothing but the coefficient of linear expansion. Alpha is nothing but the quotient of linear expansion, and delta T is the rise in temperature. Delta T is rise in temperature. So, these are the terms here. So, this is one application. That means, if the string is fixed between two rigid supports and it is heated, definitely the string bends like this. So, bending in the sense, so actually this is the direction of the length. Then how the string bends like this? If it bends means it forms in the form of a wave. It forms in the form of a wave. That means in this situation, what is the tension developed? Ya alpha delta t. Next, so for example, if the string is like this, what is the Young's modulus formula? Longitudinal stress by longitudinal force by area divided by delta L by L. So from this, or F by A divided by generally E by L, where E is elongation, delta L is change in length or elongation, any of them you can write. Y can be written as FL by AE. From this, F can be written as YAE by L. Force is nothing but tension. If the small amount of block is attached, so the string expands. The string expands. What is the longitudinal force? Longitudinal force formula is equals to YAE by L. If the string is pulled with certain amount of force, so what is the elongation? Elongation extends. In this situation, what is the longitudinal force? YAE by L. YAE by L. Now here V can be written as square root of T by mu. T can be written as YAE by L divided by mu. So V is equals to YAE by L. So YAE by mu into L. So V can be written as YAE by mu into L is nothing but mass. Since mu can be written as mass per unit length, mu into L is nothing but m. So this is one application. Velocity of the transfer. So V is equals to square root of YAE by m, mu L. So this is one application. This force is nothing but tension in the string. So V is equals to T by mu. What is T? Tension. Tension exists in different cases. In different situations, how the tension exists, that only we are calculating. T is equals to YAE by L in that situation. This is one application. Next. And one more thing here. For example, if the body measures certain amount of weight in air when it is immersed in water, if a body immersed in water, definitely it loses certain amount of weight due to buoyancy force. Generally, the weight of the body must be decreases. It's clear. For example, if a body kept in air, let us say it measures, let us say 10 newtons of weight, 10 newtons of weight. If the same body immersed in water, definitely the weight must be decreases. Weight must be decreases. That means it loses certain amount of weight. The body must loses certain amount of weight. So that is relative density. In mechanical properties of fluids, we already discussed about this relative density. Relative density can be written as weight of the body in air. Weight of the body in air divided by loss of weight in water. Relative density of the body. So relative density can be written as weight of the body in air, that is W1 divided by loss of weight, W1 minus W2. So this is the relative in mechanical properties of fluids. So again, the definition of relative density topic, we discussed about this. When a body weighs certain amount of weight in air, the body weighs certain weight in air. When it is immersed in water, when the same body immersed in water, definitely it loses certain amount of weight. So based on that, relative density of that body can be written as weight of the body in air divided by loss of weight in water. Weight of the body in air divided by loss of weight in water. Let us say W1 be the weight of the body in air, W1 be the weight of the body in air and W2 be the weight of the body in water. W2 be the weight of the body in water. So W1 minus W2 is nothing but loss of weight. Loss of weight. So that means here V proportional to root T we can write here. V proportional to root T. So that means V square proportional to T. V square proportional to T. That means here W1 is nothing but weight, nothing but tension we can consider. So based on this, relative density can be written as, so T proportional to V square. So V1 square divided by V1 square minus V2 square we can write. Relative density of the body can be written as V1 square, that means velocity of the body in air, velocity of the transverse wave generated in air divided by square of velocity of the transverse wave in air minus velocity of the transverse wave in water. So like this, rho is equals to W1 by W1 minus W2 only. So this is the concept based on mechanical properties of fluids. So here V proportional to root T or V square proportional to T. In place of T what we can substitute? T square, sorry V square. In place of T we can substitute V square. T is nothing but tension. Tension is nothing but weight or tension is nothing but force or weight. Here I am considering weight. So in place of weight we are substituting V1 square minus V1 square by V1 square minus V2 square. So in the same situation, how can you calculate relative density of liquid? Relative density of liquid can be written as loss of weight of the body, loss of weight of the body in liquid divided by loss of weight of the body in water. So first here what we are calculating, the body weighs certain amount of weight in air. The body weighs certain amount of weight in air. When it is immersed in water, then definitely it losses. In the second case, if the body immersed in water and it removes from water, and again the body immersed in another liquid, whatever it is. Now we have to calculate that relative density of the liquid. Relative density of the liquid can be written as here W1 minus W3 divided by W1 minus W2. Once check the formulas in mechanical properties of fluids. W1 minus W3 by W1 minus W2. What is W1? Weight of the body in air. What is W2? Weight of the body in water. What is W3? Weight of the body in liquid. So definitely, other than air, in any other liquids, definitely weight of the body must be decreases because of buoyancy force. Weight of the body must be decreases due to buoyancy force. So that's why rho L can be written as W1 minus W3 by W1 minus W2. So based on this we can write relative density of, this is relative density of the body, and relative density of the liquid can be written as V1 square minus V3 square divided by V1 square minus V2 square. What is V1? Velocity of the transverse wave in air. What is V2? Velocity of the transverse wave when the block is immersed in water. What is V3? Velocity of the transverse wave when the block is immersed in liquid other than water. So that is. So here V1 is velocity of transverse wave, velocity of the transverse wave when the block is in air, when the block is in air, and V2 is velocity of the transverse wave when the block is in water, and V3 is velocity of the transverse wave when the block is in liquid, that is other than water, liquid other than water. So these are the velocities. And what is W1 here? Weight of the solid or weight of the body in air W2 is weight of the body in water. So that must be less than air. So what is W1 minus W2? Loss of weight. How much it lost when it is immersed in water? And W3 is weight of the body in liquid other than water. So W1 minus W3 means how much it loses its weight when it is immersed in liquid. When it is immersed in liquid, how much it loses its weight. So that is the situation. So this is relative density and relative density of the liquid like this, two cases. Mainly it is based on mechanical properties of fluids. So that you must remember this relative density concept. Next. So these are the examples of transverse waves, some examples. So next, more V is equals to under root T by mu. Tension in different cases. So if the string is hanging from the roof of the lift, and the lift is moving upwards, and the wave is transverse wave is traveling through that string. In that situation, we know T is equals to M into G plus A. When the situation, if the lift is moving upwards, if the lift is moving downwards, M into G minus A, like that. So in different situations, whatever is the string, if the string is hanging from the roof of the car, if the string is hanging from the roof of the car, if the car is performing in a circular path, what is the tension? So that means actually this is in this situation, this is the tension. So T can be written as it's performing a circular path. So here T cos theta equals to mg and T sin theta is equals to mv square by r. So from this T cos theta is equals to mg, or T can be written as mg by cos theta. We can write in place of tension, we can write mg by cos theta. Next here T sin theta is equals to mv square by r, or T can be written as mv square by r sin theta. Anything we can write. So here the string is performing conical pendulum shape and a transverse wave we created, and it is also rotating. Now in that situation, in different cases, how can you write the tension? So that is important. Here it is. These are the applications of transverse waves. Next, what are the longitudinal waves? Velocity of the longitudinal waves. So why we can discuss here only a weight mg tensions? Because transverse waves exist only in solids. In liquids and gases, these does not exist. Of course, they are possible, but their representation is negligible. So next, velocity of longitudinal waves. Velocity of longitudinal wave. Longitudinal wave. Longitudinal wave in the sense where these longitudinal waves exist. Longitudinal waves exist in solids, liquids and gases. Generally, solids, liquids and gases, everywhere these longitudinal waves exist, no doubt about that. So, but in solids generally solids having, according to the dimensional formula, we can write it as y by rho, What is Y? Young's modulus. Y is nothing but Young's modulus. Solids. Generally solids having Young's modulus. Liquids and gases does not having Young's modulus. Only solids having Young's modulus. So in solids, velocity of the longitudinal wave can be written as square root of what is longitudinal wave? The vibrations of the particles of the medium must be in the direction of propagation of the wave. Direction of vibrations of the particles must be in the direction of propagation of the wave. So V is equals to square root of Y by rho. So V is equals to under root Y by rho. Right, okay. So Y is where Y is the Young's modulus. Young's modulus. So, but bulk modulus exists for solids, liquids and gases. For any situation, bulk modulus exists. So, but V can be written as square root of B by rho also we can write, where B is bulk modulus. Whether it is right or wrong, according to the dimensions we can check that. So, Y formula, force per unit area, force dimension formula, ml t power minus 2, area L square, that is ml minus 1 t power minus 2, ml power minus 1 t power minus 2, this is the dimensional formula. Rho, mass per unit volume, that is m by L cube, so ml power minus 3. So then Y by rho, ml power minus 1 t power minus 2 divided by ml power minus 3, L power L square t power minus 2, square root of Y by rho, square root of L square t power minus 2, that is Lt power minus 1. According to the dimensional formula, this exists. V is equals to square root of Y by rho, or V is equals to square root of P by rho. So that is the situation. Or what is B bulk modulus? Bulk modulus formula is change in pressure by change in volume by original volume. Pressure divided by change in volume by original volume. So that is change in volume by original volume does not have any volume, does not have any dimension, because volume unit by volume unit gets cancelled. So unit of bulk modulus is nothing but pressure. So that is Young's modulus, bulk modulus, rigidity modulus, pressure, all are having the same units and dimensions. All it is force per unit area or Newton per meter square, and its dimensional formula is ml power minus 1 t power minus 2, like this. Everything it is same. So that is according to dimensions it is correct. So bulk modulus B is equals to delta P by delta B by V. So we know according to isothermal process, in case of gases, PV equals to constant, P delta V plus V delta P is equals to 0. P delta V plus V delta P is equals to 0. Now, from this P can be written as minus V delta P divided by delta V. So, P can be written as minus delta P by delta V by V. So, B and P are set. That means isothermal bulk modulus is nothing but, what is the isothermal bulk modulus? Isothermal bulk modulus is nothing but pressure, that is equals to P. So, therefore, velocity of the longitudinal wave can also be written as P by rho. P by rho, where it is, that is nothing but pressure by density. Pressure by density. Because isothermal bulk modulus is nothing but pressure. See here, P is equals to minus delta P by, what is B? This is also minus generally change. If that means if the pressure increases, volume decreases. So B is equals to P by delta V by V, or P is equals to minus P into delta V by V. So isothermal bulk modulus is nothing but pressure, Therefore, velocity of the longitudinal wave can be written as square root of p by rho. So, that is square root of pressure by density, square root of pressure by density. Okay. And this condition is possible only for PV equals to constant. What is this? Boyle's law. PV equals to constant is nothing but Boyle's law. Boyle's law exists only for ideal gases. Boyle's law exists only for ideal gases. But real gases, for real gases, that is Laplace corrected this formula, that is called Laplace formula. What is that is? For any gas. So, generally for ideal gases we can write it as what is the velocity of the longitudinal wave? Simply pressure by density, pressure by density, or Young's modulus by density in solids, or bulk modulus by density. We can write it as pressure by density. We can write it as pressure by density. But that is pressure by density exists only for ideal gases, because the relation PV equals to constant, that Boyle's law holds good only for ideal gases, but real gases it is not possible. So, that is why for any gas we know PV power gamma equals to constant. Adiabatic relation between pressure and volume. Adiabatic process exists everywhere. All the process exist in the in this generally scenario is adiabatic processes only. So, PV power gamma equals to constant. P into gamma into V power gamma minus 1 into dV plus V power gamma into delta P is equals to 0. So, from this gamma P V power gamma minus 1 delta V is equals to minus V power gamma delta P. So, gamma P is equals to minus V power gamma delta P by V power gamma minus 1 into delta V. So, gamma P is equals to delta P by, so delta V by V. Gamma P is equals to minus delta P by delta V by V. So, this is adiabatic bulk modulus. Adiabatic bulk modulus is equals to gamma P. So, therefore, velocity of the longitudinal wave can be written as square root of gamma P by rho. So, in isothermal process we wrote it as P by rho. We wrote it as P by rho. But in case of any process, that means adiabatic process, adiabatic relation exists everywhere. So, we already derived this isothermal bulk modulus, adiabatic bulk modulus, these conditions we already discussed in first year thermodynamics chapter. So, that is why V is equals to square root of gamma P by rho. What is the simply after that what we can write velocity of the longitudinal wave formula simply after discussing all this. So, velocity of the longitudinal wave can be written as simply we can write it as gamma P by rho, gamma P by rho. But we know PV is equals to RT for 1 mole. P volume can be written as mass by density, mass by density, RT. So, P by rho can be written as RT by M, RT by M. Or simply we can write it as PV equals to, for n moles we can write it as PV equals to nRT, or PV is equals to small m by capital M into RT. PV is equals to small m can volume into density, RT by M, volume cancel, P by rho is equals to RT by M. PV equals to nRT, n can be written as small m by capital M into RT. Small m can be written as volume into density, volume gets cancelled. So, therefore, velocity of the longitudinal wave can be written as gamma into, in place of P by rho, RT by M. These are the two formulas of velocity of the longitudinal waves. Square root of gamma P according to the dimensions, initially we discussed according to the dimensions, square root of y by rho or B by rho or P by rho, everything based on dimensions. And exact value for any process, square root of P by rho, V is equals to square root of P by rho exists only for isothermal process. That means ideal gases only. For any gas, Laplace corrected this relation according to adiabatic relation. So that is gamma P by rho. That also can be written as RT by M. What is gamma? Adiabatic gas constant. Adiabatic gas constant. The value of gamma for monoatomic gas. What is that monoat for? 5 by 3. Gamma for diatomic gas. That is 7 by 5. Gamma for polyatomic gas, that is equals to 4 by 3. So all this adiabatic gas constant for monoatomic gas, diatomic gas and polyatomic gas, you know these values in thermodynamics. So this is the exact value of velocity of the longitudinal wave. And one more thing here, if the pressure and temperature both will mention in the problem, so we have two formulas, square root of gamma P by rho and V equals to square root of gamma T by M. Gamma P by rho and square root of gamma T by M. We have two relations. If pressure and temperature both will mention in the problem, which one we can use? Always go through temperature, because if the temperature varies, general pressure by density ratio remains constant. So that is. So if the temperature varies, we must consider temperature only. Don't consider this gamma P by rho. We must consider square root of RT by M. That means, if for example, PV is equals to small m by capital M into RT. So PV is equals to volume into density by M RT. So P by rho is equals to RT by M. P by rho equals to RT by M. So that means if the temperature changes, this ratio changes, but ratio remains constant. How much the pressure increases, density, because pressure directly proportional to rho T. Here, if R and M are constants, P directly proportional to rho T. So pressure varies, density also varies. That's why this ratio remains constant. This ratio remains constant. That's why we must use only variation of temperature. If pressure and temperature both will mention in the problem, we must use only temperature relation. Don't use density relation, pressure density relation. So these are the formulas of velocity of the longitudinal waves. Now here, V equals to square root of gamma RT by M. So V is equals to square root of gamma RT by M. So from this, velocity of the longitudinal wave is directly proportional to temperature and V inversely proportional to M and V proportional to root gamma also. For different gases, velocity of the longitudinal wave is changes. For monoatomic gas, it may be different, diatomic, polyatomic, for different gases, velocity of the longitudinal wave also changes. So this is the situation, V proportional to root T, V proportional to 1 by root M, V proportional to 1 by root gamma. Root gamma. So while calculating this, the temperature must be in Kelvin. While calculating the values, the temperature of the gas system must be in Kelvin. See here. So RMS velocity, we know that is square root of 3 RT by M. So let us say V longitudinal divided by V RMS can be written as gamma RT by M divided by 3 RT by M. So V by V RMS is equals to square root of gamma by 3. So velocity of the longitudinal wave is equals to square root of gamma by 3 times RMS velocity. A relation between the longitudinal wave and RMS velocity. relation between the longitudinal wave and RMS velocity. V is equals to square root of gamma by 3 into RMS. We know RMS velocity is square root of 3 RT by M. So, V by BRMS equals to like this. So, this is the velocity of the longitudinal waves. Now, here generally if we consider the sound velocity in air, generally we can consider longitudinal wave is nothing but sound. Sound waves are longitudinal in nature. So, at 0 degree Celsius, velocity of sound waves can be written as is 332 meters per second. So, at 27 degree Celsius, it will be approximately 340 meters per second. So, that means with increase in temperature, velocity also increases. With increase in temperature, velocity also increases. So, at 0 degree Celsius, velocity of the sound waves are nothing but longitudinal waves. Sound waves are nothing but longitudinal. We are discussing about velocity of the longitudinal waves, and sound waves are the longitudinal wave. Sound waves can travel through air in any situation, air or liquid or solid, in any situation. So, that is at 0 degree Celsius. In air it is, in air, velocity of the sound in air. At 27 degrees Celsius, it will be 340. But here, let us discuss one thing here. What is this is? Here V proportional to root T. Let us say at 0 degree Celsius, T can be written, T1 can be written as 0 plus 273. At high temperature, T2 is equals to T plus 273, let us say. So, therefore, V1 by V2 is equals to under root T1 by T2, or V2 by V1 is equals to under root T2 by T1. T2 can be written as T plus 273 divided by 273. So, V2 by V1 is equals to under root 273 by 273 plus T by 273. Next, it is V2 by V1 is equals to under root 1 plus T by 273. So, V2 by V1 is equals to here only let us say 1 plus T by 273 whole power 1 by 2. So, this can be written as 1 plus 1 by 2 into T by 273. So, V2 by V1 is equals to 1 plus T by 546. So, generally binomial expansion 1 plus x whole power n is equals to 1 plus nx. Just we have to consider the first term. So, from this V2 is equals to V1 into 1 plus T by 546. Let's V1 is equals to velocity of sound in air at 0 degree Celsius. So, V2 is equals to V0 into 1 plus 0.61 into T, 0.61 into T. 1 by 546 is 0.61. Right, 1 by 546, 10. So, V1 is nothing but it is V0 into 1 plus T by 546 here, and here V2 is equals to V0 is how much at 0 degree Celsius. What is the velocity of the wave? 332. 332 into 1 plus T by 546. So V2 is equals to 332 plus 332 by 546 into T. So V2 is equals to 332 plus 0.61 T. So where T is rise in temperature. Rise in temperature. If T is equals to 1, then V2 is equals to 332 plus 0.61. If T is equals to 2, 332 plus 0.61 into 2. That means for every 1 degree rise in temperature, the speed of the sound must be increases by 0.61. For every 1 degree rise in temperature, the speed of the sound increases by 0.61. That is important. So this is the situation here. V proportional to root T at 0 degree Celsius. Let us set 0 by at high temperature T plus 273, where T is rise in temperature. So let us see. So after solving this is the situation. V2 final velocity can be written as, what we can write it as 332 plus 0.61 T. What is T? Rise in temperature. So for every 1 degree rise in temperature, the velocity of the sound increases by 0.61 meters per second. So for every 1 degree rise in temperature, velocity of the sound increases by 0.61 meters per second. Every 1 degree rise in temperature, velocity of the sound increases by 0.61 meters per second. So this is the velocity of the longitudinal waves and this relation with temperature.
ఇంటర్మీడియట్ విద్యారంగంలో అగ్రగామి మన ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్. ఐఐటి, జేఈఈ అయినా, నీట్ అయినా తిరుగులేని విద్యా సంస్థ ఎన్ఎస్ఆర్ ఇంపల్స్.